Hey, what's up, ladies and gentle-tubers? We are making a back-to-back video here. This is my old AFX FX41, and as you can see, it is coming apart with different add-ons that I've had. This has been a pretty good helmet, kind of mediocre, but I did just barely upgrade, and I just put a video out about this helmet, the Suomy MX Tour. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but you guys get the picture. That's how it's spelled. Fantastic helmet, very light. I'm really excited to use this on upcoming tours. Cross-country and international tours that I'm planning on. And anyway, I wanted to show you guys how I mount a Sony action camera. And I've shown this before, however, I want to show it again because I really think that the Sony action camera, it's not inside here. I'm actually wearing it on my head. But the Sony action camera, the X3000, is one of the best cameras, best helmet cameras I've ever seen. I think it's much better than a GoPro. It's got absolutely fantastic stabilization. I'll be putting up a review video on the camera itself soon. The problem with the camera, it has two major problems though. One of it is the mounting options are kind of lacking, and the other problem is this clasp right here, but we'll get into that in the review. For now, I'm going to show you how to mount this camera onto a helmet using pretty inexpensive stuff in a pretty easy way. And the nice thing is I've seen a lot of helmet mounts that use double-sided stick tape or something like that, and when that comes off, it's off forever. You have to get new double-sided stick tape. This uses stuff called dual lock, which my old friend Navy Thomas 8 introduced me to years and years ago. Dual lock is like super Velcro, and it stays on there really, really good. Now I had this going on long before, what's that company? ProShot. ProShot does their mount that comes out here for GoPros. I was doing this long before them. I don't know if they got their idea from me, but if they did, cool, good job. That's awesome adaptation, a way to make money. But this is the way I do it. You basically put a strip of dual lock here, you put a strip of dual lock right here on the other side of this aluminum, and then there's another strip of dual lock on your camera. So it's really easily removable, and this stuff lasts a long, long time. You can hear how it just clicks in. And it's got a lot of force to it, so it doesn't come off easy. But the nice thing is it will come off, and then if it does come off, first of all, it's not on there strong enough that it's gonna like torque your head real bad if you crash. Second of all, if it does come off, you can attach a tether or something like that because it's meant to break away. But break away, it's not gonna just fall off. This stuff is legitimately strong. I'll do the test here. You can lift up your whole helmet with it. It takes some good force. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is basically get a little piece of aluminum here and do the same thing I did on this helmet to this one because this is my new and super awesome helmet. So first of all, we're gonna come over here. This is just stock aluminum, Everbuilt stuff. Well, I like that name. Flat bar aluminum that I got from Home Depot. Just go ahead and do this. And that's a terrible sound, first of all, but a lot of motovloggers have adapted this idea and used the Sony now and used this very thing for a long time. And honestly, it is just, in my opinion, it's the best way to go. It's the best way to get the best camera onto your helmet in a way that is, well, just the best way. So. Alright, so there we have it. Now, if you don't have a big, huge vise like my grandpa gave to me, you can use something like this that you get at Harbor Freight, at least to do the cut. To do the bend, I really don't know how you're going to do that very easily without a vise like this. However, you can just lock this up against the table to cut it initially. It is such a pain to cut things trying to hold it by hand or even like doing this motion, but it can be done. So anyway, best of luck to you. But yeah, it is easier with a vise. If you got a front with a vise, definitely go use that. And this is going to help you bend it as well. So we need to find out the contour of this helmet. And first of all, we probably ought to file this down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, now the edges are nice and not sharp. Now here's the thing, is this bit of aluminum is going to cost about $6, and you're going to use, oh man, maybe 5 or 6 inches of this, and really, that means you can make a lot of different mounts. Now the most expensive part about this mount is the dual lock that's going to go on it, and that's that super Velcro stuff, and that's, you know, if you buy it in bulk, it's the cheapest way to get it, and you get like 40 feet or something like that, and there's a link down below to that. However, you can get it in smaller packages, but it is pretty expensive. I'd get the bulk package because I use it for a lot of stuff. It's pretty handy. Anyway, yeah, link down below, check that out. So now it's time to bend this thing to get it right for the helmet. So first of all, we've got to get it in a place on the helmet where it's nice and flat. And I think this part right here, this pall plart of the helmet is actually going to be a really great area to dual lock it on. In fact, that part right there might be even better. Now, what you got to watch out for is there's got to be enough bend in this thing to allow for the camera to stick on this side. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to start bending it because it's pretty forgiving to bend it back and forth. This is what I use to bend it. This is a handy tool to just have around. It's a Pittsburgh from Harbor Freight. Just get it to, you know, the place where it can be bent, and then I start bending. So I'm just going to go like this. If you grab it from out here, it might bend in a different spot, and you want the bend to be pretty, you know, pretty close to the angle here. Okay, so we want this to come straight out of the front of the helmet so that there's, so it's not looking skiwampus. So we're going to bend it some, pardon my burp, we're going to bend it some more. Now you definitely want to bend this before you put the dual lock on it, because if you have dual lock on it, then you can't clamp it. So you want to make sure that the bend is perfect in all the angles involved before you put the dual lock on. Okay, that's looking closer. It looks like it comes pretty close to straight out. Okay, so now you can see that the angle is way off to the side and it's diagonal. So we're actually going to just go twist it. Okay, that's getting pretty close. It looks pretty near straight up and down. That looks pretty excellent right there. Okay guys, so I was telling you about the dual lock and how awesome it is. I think I had 40 feet at one point, and this is the remainder. I use this stuff for a lot of things, and it's just very, very handy. You can also get them in little packs kind of like this, and you can get them in different colors like clear. However, you know, the black pack, that works good for me. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it to the right size. So it looks like we need about that much. And see how I kind of have a slight bend right here? That actually conforms to the helmet a little better and makes it stick better. So that's not a bad thing at all to have. I'm going to cut it a little bit longer, just so I can kind of maneuver this back and forth a little bit, so I can bring it up or back. And then I wanted this to go right up in here. And it will cover my cool Suomy logo there, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So a lot of people ask me like, hey man, why do you mount it upside down? And it's because the left side of your helmet is your clutch side. Your right side, you're going to be on the throttle. If you want to manipulate your camera while you're still on the throttle, you want to have this on the left side of the helmet. Now, the thing is, the screen on this camera is on this side. So, you know, if you want people to be able to read your time code, you want it to be on the left side. So I invert it. There's a setting on this camera that you can invert the image and make it upside down, which makes it really nice. So, hey, that's going to work really good. So we'll go ahead and pop the dual lock on this side. Now, here's the tip. You may not want to do just a whole huge strip of dual lock on this side, because you may need to take this back and bend it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put dual lock right here square and dual lock right here square, and so there's a strip in the middle that I can put in the vise and continue to bend it if I need to. That's what's cool about dual lock and this strip, is they're both, I think, just about an inch wide exactly, which means they line up perfect. Just like that. Okay, so now that that's on there real good, we're gonna clip that on. Yeah, that's on there good. And look at that. That is about exactly where I want it. Perfect. So we'll go ahead and just measure that. Now on this side, you don't really want to skimp on the dual lock. Just go ahead and go crazy with it, because as soon as you are balanced correctly, as soon as you're at the right angle, you're gonna want as much dual lock right there as you can get. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Another reason to leave a gap right here is you can actually run a wire up here, and it kind of tethers your wire in between these two instead of having those wires flop everywhere. But yeah, for now, it's looking pretty great. We're gonna go ahead and snap this on. Just like that. And there you have it. It is ready to film. Pretty good stuff. And again, this is gonna be pretty substantial. It's not going to come off unless it's designed to, you know. If there's an impact, this is going to pop off and it's going to save your head, and then you'll just be able to pick it up and put it back on, which is nice. So there's two more things that I want to show you, actually. The first is, on the Sony camera, it is difficult to see if there is any lights on. That's actually why I mounted it up here closer to the eye line. That way I can even see if the camera is mounted. Say I hit a bush or a tree or something like that with my helmet. That happens pretty often, actually. It might rip this off. And so it's nice to be able to just look down and see that the camera case is still there and still attached. Another thing you can do to get those lights going is the action camera has a little light right here, and you're not going to be able to see that from within your helmet. And so what you can do is you can get some fiber optic cable. This is the stuff that you hook up to your audio systems, and you just clip it, and you can actually just put it in right there, and then you can wire it in through, you know, however, but then basically have it feed up here so that you'll be able to see through this little thing right here. The light goes through this cord, and you'll be able to see if your camera's on. Kind of a little heads-up display. So that's why I do that. Obviously, this hole is drilled right there for the camera. For the audio, I'll run an audio cable in here and hook that up. But yeah, that's how it goes. A lot of the times you have your camera pointed a little bit up or a little bit down, and that can really screw things up on fixed mounts. However, since you're using dual lock on this one, you can pull it off and adjust it down or adjust it up or wherever you want to do. And you can get different looks this way as well. Like if you want to show more of your bars and more of kind of an aggressive thing, you can put it down. And if you want more of a look where your bars aren't even in the picture, maybe you're just getting a scenic, nice steady shot of your friend riding, then you can go ahead and point it up a little bit, and so you don't get your bars, you just get the background, a lot of the sky, and it looks really good. So there's that. Okay, so I wanted to show you just a couple more things. Back here we have the fiber optic cable that you can see, and that wraps down through here, and to make it stay on this helmet, I just put a bit of Gorilla Tape on the inside with electrical tape wrapped in there, so it kind of makes a little channel in there that can just feed up through. It's not sticky, that can just come right out if I want to, but it keeps that little thing right there in place. And I want to show you what happens when I turn that on. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Turn that camera and that little red light comes on, and you have a little heads-up display, which is really nice to know when your camera's on or off when you're you know, riding. You don't want to be looking in your mirror to see if this is on. It's nice because it's just right there. Another thing that I've done is I've adapted a rear camera, which I really like, and it looks good on this helmet. You can barely tell that it's there. But what I've done is I've put dual lock on another bracket right here and bent it accordingly, and put a little 1/4-inch thread screw, little wing nut thing there that just goes right into the bottom of the case, and then this will actually just click right onto here. And I put a little extra dual lock on the back here so that I can adjust this up or down as needed. So that's adjustable. Anyway, it's pretty awesome, guys. That's it for me. And anyway, yeah, hair day. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Much love to all of you. And good luck on your helmets. Go ahead and submit links to your pictures and projects of things that you might do, or other ideas in the comments below, because dual lock is cool, but it may not be the best thing now, so maybe there's another option. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. We'll see ya. Bye.